So we're going to take a break from the engine since that fuel line is not available and I have to order it or try to pick it up from somewhere. So we're going to work on getting this cleaned up. And then I'm also going to work on filing the chain so that it will fit in the track a little bit better. This bar doesn't look too bad actually. Pretty straight. Maybe one little area here that might be a little bit off, but for the most part though I think it's alright. We'll get it cleaned up and we'll get these cleaned up and let's give it a shot. So here I'm looking for which teeth might have some imperfections on them, and it looks like this one does at the very end. So I just take the file, down that side, and as good as new. And we'll go to the next one. We'll get rid of this one next. Got the chain all filed down, so let's see how it rides. Fantastic. Oh. And as you can see, this area here doesn't want to drop in. If you guys can see that imperfection there, but we need to grind that down one more time. Missed one. Everything else, so oh, how about this one too? Let's do that one too. Everything else looks really good. We now have fuel line, two different thicknesses, two different IDs. So we have this one, which is the bigger ID. We'll go here. And then we got to fish that down into the fuel tank. There we go. All right. Wonder if we even need to put that other piece on. No, let's figure out how long it's got to be. So we remember this one has to connect to the carb. Like that. So that'll be easy. It just goes right up there. This one. Well, I think we should start by getting this one into the end of the fuel tank, and then we can cut to size the primer bulb. So, well, let's see if we can do that. Going to do kind of the same thing on the last one, is just put a point on it, so that hopefully that'll make it easier to to stuff in and feed. And I've got just a dull punch that I can hopefully push it in with. Yeah, it's not staying though. There was that piece that had the nipple on it. It was down in there first, but it didn't make a lot of sense to me. Not that it would, but you know, look like this. So I don't know if that went down there first. And then when you pull on it, maybe that squeezes in there. I don't know. Maybe we'll try that. I guess what's the worst that could happen, right? Let's drain the fuel out of this and start over. Alright, so the fuel is already out, so that was good. Took the cap out. I'm gonna run this down in here. You know what? Let's get smart. Let's put this on first. What do you say? All right, and then put that in. I wonder if I can get it down deep enough to where I can get needle nose pliers in it and grab onto it. I can see it. Stuck on a little ledge there, right there. So needle nose pliers. Let's see if they're long enough to get in there and grab that. Oh, actually, I did a spin move. Man, that ledge is killing me. Let's push it out. There we go. All right. We're hanging off the ledge now. And there we go. So let's see if by doing that, we can pull this tight enough to jam that in there. Well, there it is. That worked. I don't know if we had to do all that, but we did. I guess I'll try to take out as much of this as I can. Stuff the rest back in. Again, it's not a big deal. This doesn't actually pick up anything. It's just a drain, if you will. All right, so that's now down. Perfect. Can hook this up to the bulb. Making progress. Let's put the car back on just to make sure that we're not going to interfere with anything. This goes that way, that goes this way. So, there that is. Let's see, we give it a little extra length. There's plenty to work with here. this on the primer bulb. There you have it. So that will go down once all this is on. This will connect into the side of the carb. And that's it. That's it for the fuel line. So let's get this back on. Number 2 Phillips. I have the skinny one on top. I don't know if that's supposed to happen, but I figured since that has to actually go up and into the carb, let's make that one easily accessible with less of a chance of kinking. Alright, so putting all this back together, put the throttle cable to the side. This will go down. I'm going to hook this up before I slide it onto the intake, the head. So we've got the big one going down, little one going into the carb, both hooked up, fuel line to the fuel filter and the fuel tank. A little bit of a fight pushing this back in, but there's a little bit more line than I wanted, but I guess I'd rather have too much than not enough. Move that, there we go. I may have to shorten this because this keeps kinking here. So I got that kind of switched around. Let's try to slide it on the carb now. Using the old nose pliers, but I think it'll be all right. We'll take it easy. We are all slid on, and we have no kinks. It goes down and then back up. So all we gotta do now is button it up. All right, we got everything stuffed back in here. Gotta take out the choke lever, but you can pop that back in rather easily. Hopefully. Got the fuel line in. Got the air box on. We've got the throttle hooked up, choke hooked up, rubber connectors on. Let's get the nuts on the air box. Let's put some fuel back in it. That sounds. Let's get the air cleaner back on, get the top on. Alright, that sounded good. Let's fill her up. Let's get the plastic cover on. And then throw some fuel in it. And see how she runs. This back in. Go about halfway. And moment of truth with the primer bulb. Let's see if it takes on fuel. Yes. There we go. Brilliant. Okay. We got it on. We got it primed. Broke out. And the handle's broken, so we're going to be careful with that. Need to put the side cover on.
Dear God, let's see. I don't think I did. 5.5. I did equal to 140. Yeah, I think it was 140, but
Okay. Let's try this now for the fourth time. We're primed, on, choke. reason why that kept locking up was because this screw was jammed down inside of here. So now that we have that cleared out, I'm willing to bet that this may actually turn over now. Shake it, make sure nothing else comes out. Something's... Okay, attempt number 5. Well, got nothing. Had something before. Definitely got a wet plug. Like I said, I think I flooded it by pushing the primer bulb one too many times. We do have spark, so let's just leave this out for a little bit and we'll come back to it once it kind of airs itself out a little bit. I'll keep the throttle wide open here. And we'll come back to it. Okay, let's take 5 or 6. Let's keep the choke off. Sounds like something's in there rolling around. Well, let's take it apart again. But it started, so that's a win. I think that's just the bearings in there. Might as well clean this out while we're here. We'll come back to it, but Okay. Button it up again. Could be wrong, but I think that noise is coming from the recoil. Let's start it up and let's try it again. Not too shabby. I don't know if I picked up the sound when that thing made a crunch, but let's see if anything's inside there now. Well, since we're not gonna be reusing this handle, we can just take it off for the time being. Put the new one on when it comes, hopefully today or tomorrow. I think it'll be easier to clean now too. Now that we got the saw cleaned up for the most part, came out pretty good, we can get the bar and the chain back on. For some reason, it's like that was at one point damaged, so I'm going to take this 12 torch, heat up this plastic a little bit and see if I can't reform it. It's a little smoky. A little better. Okay, we are back. The handle has arrived. Looks good. Looks like it'll match up. Got a new plug. The BPM6A. Put the new plug in. I think the last one it seemed like it was running a little bit wide on the gap and it was missing a little bit, but I think the new plug will definitely take care of that. So let's get the new handle on, new plug in, and give it a shot. Kind of a unique design. It has a nylon strap on it. So no wonder why the last one failed, but that'll go in through there. Thankfully it's got the washer on it. That's nice and tight. That's good. There you have it. It is back together. Well, let's see how it runs now. It's been sitting for 2 weeks, so let's see what happens. Nope. That's what happened. Okay, well, let's address that now. Okay, now that we have the hardware installed, let's try it again. Well, I think it worked. That was worth it. Brought it back to life, and we'll have some fun with it. Thanks for watching. Bye.